We have a small Ehang emergency video update. We had nearly 17% drop in stock prices. This is an unusual drop when we consider we had a good last week in earnings. I will talk about the reason, what happened, and how we should react to it. But first of all, welcome to High School Dropout's advice. If you need subtitles, click on the subtitles button right here. Through Patreon, you can get into our Discord community where you can get directly in touch with me and other subscribers. You see, one of my Patreon members has posted this news, and when you go to the Ehang website, you will see this. You see that on April 30th, on Friday, Ehang filed Form 12B-25 for the MT20-F form with the SEC. So, this form is a notification of late filing. This means that the yearly report needs to get audited but cannot be done on time. We can read from the rules that it has to be filed before the 15th calendar day following the prescribed due date. It also seems like that there are issues that need bigger effort to fix. Let us check part 3 and what forms might be affected here. Form 10K is the yearly report. The Form 20F is an SEC filing submitted to the US Securities and Exchange Commission used by certain foreign private issuers to provide information. The Form 11-K records all insider or employees' activity involving the buying and selling a company stock. SEC Form 10-Q is a comprehensive report of financial performance that must be submitted quarterly by all public companies to the SEC, and the SEC Form 10-D is a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the Asset-Backed Issuer Distribution Report. Form N-CEN is to be used by all registered investment companies other than face amount certificate companies to file annual reports with the Commission. Form N-CSR is to be used by management investment companies to file reports with the Commission not later than 10 days after the transmission to stockholders of any report that is required to be transmitted to the stockholders. So these are the forms that are affected. I think that Ehang has listed all forms because they would file everything together. Let us read what Ehang wrote to the SEC and why there is a delay. Ehang Holding Limited, the company, has experienced a delay in preparing its annual report on Form 20-F for the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2020, and the audited financial statements required in the Form 20-F. The company needs additional time to complete the 2020 Form 20-F and plans to file the 2020 Form 20-F on or before the extended deadline permitted under Rule 12B-25 under the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 as amended. In this part, they say that their annual report and the audited financial statement required in Form 20-F are causing the delay. In part 4 of this filing, we see the contact information of the Chief Financial Officer Richard Jian Liu. You might ask, how qualified is CFO Richard Jian Liu? Let me read this part on his profile on the Ehang website. Mr. Richard Jian Liu has served as our Chief Financial Officer since May 2017. Mr. Liu joined our company as a Vice President of Finance in August 2015. Prior to joining us, Mr. Liu served as a Group Vice President of Finance and Chief Financial Officer of the new business group at 21 Vianet Group Inc. Nasdaq VNET from May 2014 to August 2015. From March 2008 to May 2014, he also served as the Chief Financial Officer at several industry-leading companies, including Ecoplast Technologies Inc., China Polypeptide Group Inc., and China Energy Recovery Inc. Prior to that, he worked as a senior consultant at Arthur Andersen LLP, a public accounting firm in its China office between 1996 to 2000. Mr. Liu received his bachelor degree in engineering from Shanghai Jiao Tong University in 1996 and his master degree in business administration from the Anderson Graduate School of Management at the University of California, Los Angeles in 2003. Mr. Liu is a member of the Chinese Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Reading his profile, we can agree that he has worked as a CFO for around 13 years. A little concerning is to read that he worked at several companies from March 2008 to May 2014 and worked at 21 ViaNet from May 2014 to August 2015. This is just a little over 1 year. However, he had worked for Ehang since May 2017. The stock started to trade on the Nasdaq on December the 30th of 2019. So CFO Richard Liu has never filed a full year report for Ehang with the SEC. So his lack of experience filing for Ehang and his frequent change in workplaces makes me worry that there might be an issue that could be avoided. We are not sure at this point if it's something good or something bad. We have to keep in mind that the Wolfpack accusation is still in many investors' mind, and this delay is not looking good. So we might have seen an overreaction of the investor, or it can be a small clerical problem, some timing problem in preparing the forms, but it can also be justified reaction of investors, and auditors might uncover some proof that some of Wolfpack allegations were right. Maybe there were sales which were made to boost the sales higher. At this point of time, it's impossible for us to figure out what caused the delay. All we can do is wait for more news and wait for Ehang to get audited. There's no doubt there's a lot of pressure on the stock and on us investors. However, let me also disclose that I have added another 200 Ehang shares. The likelihood that something small happened is way more significant than Wolfpack's accusation was partly right, and there were fabricated sales. Nevertheless, what I'm doing here is a shoot in the dark, where I can be wrong 20% of the time, but being 80% right makes me comfortably making this bet. I only invested the amount I can afford to lose. For legal reasons, let me tell you that I'm not a financial advisor, CPA, or realtor, so I always consult with an expert before making a decision. Remember that your money is your responsibility, and always do your own due diligence. Thank you so much, and see you hopefully in the next video. Thank you. Bye.